It's Wednesday, so it's time to do yet another one of the 7 grandfather teachings. And today I'm excited to share this one with you because this is the one that blew me away. This is the one that resonated with me. This is the word I use on a regular basis to identify when I experience it in my life. Today we're talking about Debwewin. We're talking about truth. Let's talk about it. Bonjour. Mishko Paganan, Quay Nadishnakas Mangdodem. Hi, everybody. My name is Sandy Boucher. I'm Red Thunderbolt Woman of the Loon Clan, a proud member of Seine River First Nation in Treaty 3 territory in Northern Ontario. And as I mentioned in the opening, today we're talking about Debwewin, truth. Now, I wanted to share with you yesterday, I touched on how First Nation communities are so incredibly different from each other, and the nations, the Cree, Dene, Haudenosaunee, Coast Salish, Mi'kmaq, Anishinaabe, all of these have different cultures, different traditions, that they look at things differently. And I really wanted to highlight that for you. So when I was first introduced to Debwewin, which is truth, the way it was explained to me and the way that resonates with me, and I'm not saying anyone else's interpretation is wrong, we don't do that. But the way it made sense to me was that we're talking so much more than being honest and telling the truth. That is a very superficial, easy way of looking at it. For me, Debwewin is when something is so true, it resonates in your bones. That, someone identifies their pain or they identify their desperation, their vulnerability when you realize that, like authenticity on steroids, that deep resonating truth. So when someone says something and it's just so powerful, often inspirational, resonates deep in my bones, I will often, if it's on social media, I will often just type Debwewin, right? So that's my interpretation. But I really wanted to highlight this difference between the nations so you really understand that often because of the language, we know that how you express things in a language really guides and molds what that nation is going to look at things like. It's defined in the wording. If you don't have a word for it, for example, the example I always give in Anishinaabe, and I don't know the words, so don't ask me for the words, but there is a word for a river that is flowing away from you. And there's a word, a totally different word for a river flowing towards you. That it is more action based than verb based than it is noun based, because the reality is living in the bush and surviving, we didn't need to know it was a river. That wasn't helpful. But it was really important to know, are you going to be fighting the current or going with the current if you jump into that river and you know where you want to go? Does that make sense? So that's how language really reflects what's important in a nation. And if there is no word for it, it's not important. What I wanted to share with you, I actually have 2 documents in my hand here. I am from Treaty 3, which think Northern Ontario, Manitoba border kind of thing, that area. And we look at different things differently than the 1850 Robinson Superior Treaty area where I live. I wanted to share with you the difference. So I have a copy of the Seven Grandfather Teachings, again, as expressed by the Seven Generations Educational Institute. You can find this information on their website. They are Treaty 3 based. I swear every time I go to Treaty 3, everyone I meet, even if I've never met them before, they all sound like my mom. I feel again my blood just sighs when I cross into Treaty 3, cross the boundary. It resonates. It totally resonates. And anyone who knows that connection knows what I mean. In Treaty 3, according to Seven Gems, the definition of Debwewin is truth, but the phrase, and they're very concise, wonder where I get it from. The phrase they use to describe this, get this is powerful. To speak only to the extent we have lived or experienced. To speak only to the extent we have lived or experienced. Meaning you're not out anywhere blowing smoke up someone's butt. You are speaking your truth based on your wisdom and your experience. It is when I went into that rant about all these people that are denying the experts now and want, like, we're supposed to just listen to these people that have no experience, no lived experience, no knowledge. What? Anyone who has worked with, I know a lot of people that work with the houseless population, often called the homeless population. I prefer houseless because they have a home. Their home is that tent in Tent City. Their home is that cardboard box. And when you just choose to destroy it, you're destroying someone's home. Just because it doesn't look like your home doesn't mean it's not a home. They have a home. They need a house or an apartment or whatever the case may be. But people that work with them often are looking for people with quote unquote lived experience because they know that if we design a program working with them, it's going to have an impact. Nothing for us or about us without us applies to any group that you don't belong to. If you want to design an event for youth and you're not a youth, get youth on your planning committee. If you want to plan an event for elders and you're not an elder, get elders on your planning committee. Nothing for us or about us without us. So according to Treaty 3, Debwewin, truth is to speak only to the extent we have lived or experienced. But now let's jump to 1850 Robinson Superior Treaty area. And this copy of the Seven Grandfather Teachings I got from the Thunder Bay Indigenous Friendship Center that I've been involved with for, I don't want to do the math, 30 years, right in around there. They actually put truth. Now, in Treaty 3, truth is the first of the Seven Grandfather Teachings that is discussed. In 1850 Robinson Superior Treaty area, truth is the last one, which explains the wording. So what it says, truth is to know all of these things, referring to the other grandfather teachings. Be true to yourself and your fellow man. Be able to speak the truth. This is considered the final and last teaching because to live this teaching, one must achieve and understand the first six. By being honest with those around you with your feelings and behaviors, by loving self and others, by respecting others with what they say and do, by being humble, knowing that everyone around you deserves your respect and you theirs, by being brave when facing new challenges, and by accepting your own and others' wisdom. That is how you achieve truth, or Debwewin. So, there you have it. Like I said, it is not easy to live the Seven Grandfather Teachings. I think it's worth the effort. I think it is something I strive for every single day. Those are the puzzle pieces I need. And nothing makes me smile more authentically than hearing someone sharing their Debwewin. I hope you appreciated that. Until tomorrow, I love you. Take care. Bye bye.